What up, hotheads? I'm Henry, and this is Blaze the Roof. This week we're reviewing a sauce called Dragon's Blood Elixir out of Connecticut. The whole name of the company is actually Dragon's Blood Elixir. So, a little bit about the company. It was started by a man named Doug Crane, who was nicknamed the Master Alchemist, the Supreme Sauce Sommelier, and the Chief Chef. So quite a few nicknames there. Now people just call me like Hey You or Ass Face. You know. Yeah, I don't have any cool nicknames. So anyway, part of his operations also include Joel and Alan, who handle the website as well as the marketing, and his niece Katie Hot Peppers. Not making that one up. Who handles the sales. So, I mentioned this is out of Connecticut. Connecticut would be our 28th state that we visited. They are stationed out of Windham, Connecticut, which is named after Windham. I forget in which. It's just Windham, England. I don't know which county or whatnot, but except the English one, they spell it with a Y. The Connecticut one with an I. So. And it is actually the midway point between Providence, Rhode Island, and Hartford, Connecticut. So, I guess if you're two lovers in those cities, Windham's a good place to meet in between. Famous people from Windham, Connecticut include Samuel Huntington. No, not the actor that came out in Not Another Teen Movie, or who played Jimmy Olsen in the disastrous Superman Returns. I'm talking about the guy who signed the Declaration of Independence. Also, economist Gardner Means. Don't know too much about Gardner Means, but the name sounds somewhat familiar. But economy is not my bag. So let's look at the packaging now. So Dragon's Blood has a cool little dragon. That's more of your Asian style variety dragon, I would say. But kind of mixed with the European style too. It's kind of interesting. I don't know, because the more I look at it, you know, it does look a lot like the Asian style that you see in like traditional Chinese, but then also has like the head of a European style dragon. So I don't know. It's kind of a busy label. There's not much to the logo itself. It's pretty much block lettering, but you got the flourishes at the bottom there, around the word hot sauce. Words hot sauce, shall I say, and around all natural. There's no back label, so it's all done on one label. Alright, so let's look at the ingredients here. Ingredients include fire roasted salsa, which includes tomatoes, jalapenos, onions, garlic, salt, citric acid, apple cider syrup, apple cider vinegar, Connecticut grown ripe red habanero peppers, apple puree, balsamic vinegar, sea salt, rice, and or tapioca flour. So there's a few ingredients in there that are interesting, but I don't think we've covered apples yet. So let's talk about apples now. So a few interesting facts about apples. The crab apple is the only apple native to North America. It takes 2 pounds of apples to make one 9-inch apple pie. It takes 36 apples to make 1 gallon of apple cider. Also, there are about 2,500 varieties grown in the United States alone, 7,500 worldwide. So there's a ton of apples out there. Also, if you've ever gone to the supermarket, you know, you'll see a crap load of them. I mean, you know, you got your Fijis, you got your Galas, your Red Delicious. Misleading name, by the way. It's the worst fucking apple out there. You got your Granny Smiths, your Honey Crisp. There's just a ton of apples. There's like 12 apples alone in the grocery store. So, so apples are fat, sodium, and cholesterol free. About 80 calories per apple and 5 grams of fiber. The apple tree actually originated in the area between the Caspian and the Black Sea. It is a member of the rose family. So before we get any further though, let's hear from this week's sponsor. Ladies, ever notice there are a ton of restaurants catering to horny men, but none for horny women? We here at Don Juan's aim to fill that void. We prefer to stimulate your minds, however. Our waiters will not only take your order, but even order for you if you can't decide. If you're not that hungry, we'll automatically bring out an order of fries for you to pick at. Our martinis, dirty. Our desserts, decadent. Our bathrooms, filthy, but our staff is sweet. They're trained to hear how your day went, listen intently, and not offer any advice. They will just nod and speak words of encouragement and agreement. All visits get the complimentary neck rub. So come out to Don Juan's, where every night is ladies' night, and you always leave feeling right. Now for the moment of truth. So essentially the label said this is a salsa with vinegar and apple puree added to it. So I'm not exactly sure how this is gonna exactly come together. It's basically like apples and salsa. Oh yeah, the smell. I forgot to smell it, but you can smell the apple cider vinegar and a touch of like tomato sauce. Well, like tomato salsa. It is kind of liquidy. So I think this is probably heavier on the vinegar part. It's actually kind of see-through. You won't be able to see it, but when I'm looking at the light that I have in my face here, you kind of see through the sauce. So it's not the thickest sauce. It's very fluid. It's not viscous at all. It is a reddish color, just what you would expect from red habanero. But let's see how this goes. Cheers. Mm-hmm. All right. Tastes exactly like what I thought it would taste. Tastes like a picante sauce. Like paste picante with a little bit of apple cider vinegar. So it's sweet initially. Well, then once you swallow, you taste the tomato. And then you get the burn in the back. But it's a very light burn. So this is a lightweight. It is a slow burn in the back of the tongue like habanero typically has, but yeah, it's a rather slow burn. And the salsa, being that it has jalapeno, I thought it would have a little bit more on the tip of the tongue, but I didn't really get that. Let me just double check that, because again, the first sensation I had was the sweetness. So it is a sweeter sauce. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not sure I like this sauce. I mean, it's fine, but it's not it's the sweetness that kind of throws me off again, because it's the apple cider vinegar. So I'm a little intrigued. I don't know what I would use this with. Being that sweeter, I mean, you'd have to be very careful with it, right? I definitely couldn't see using this. Let me eliminate things that might make it easier. I wouldn't put it on like chili dogs. I wouldn't put it on pizza. I wouldn't put it on anything fried, to be honest with you, because it's a sweeter sauce. So I think I would limit it to veggies, pork, because of the sweetness. But then there's not very many ethnic dishes you could do this. You could not get away with putting this like on Indian food. You can get away with any type of Asian food. It's just not wouldn't be the most versatile sauce. It's fine, but it's not something I would go out of my way for, to be honest with you. So yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be mind blowing, but yeah, just not my cup of tea. It's fine, I guess, but I wouldn't necessarily even recommend it. So, all right. Kind of disappointed, actually. Not that I was Like I said, I didn't have high expectations for this, but I guess I didn't like them apples. What a shame. So next week we're gonna be reviewing a sauce called Heartbreaking Dawn's Cauterizer. All right. So until then, I'm Henry, and remember, spice up your life. Take care.